here.
Hey, it's going.
It's working on it again.
She finally came
He
up.
agreed to it. He talked nice to the iPad, and now it's working. Maybe.
Actually, I was getting really torqued.
Oh, he was fixing to throw it across the room the way it sounds, maybe. So, are we back live now?
We are live.
All right.
I'm just trying to.
He's got to come over here, though, to push more buttons to record the podcast at the same time. And when he does that, then we'll start the show kind of all over again. It's not real well organized. We're just having fun.
It's organized.
It's an organized chaos. Is that what people say?
That's right.
Okay.
All right, here we go, Dominic.
I drive sprint cars. It's fine.
Hey, it's Hoagie's Garage, and tonight we have Dominic White on. How you doing tonight, Dominic?
Good. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great.
Like I said earlier, she's a top 10 day. It's freaking beautiful out.
Yeah, super nice. Sun's not too bright, or
Nope.
it's not. I mean, I could use a little rain around here on the farm, but not on Sundays like I did last week.
No, how much did you get down there?
we didn't get anything.
Oh.
Rained on every racetrack around us and everywhere else, but did not rain on any of our fields.
No, that sucks. We got a good rain out of it. Luckily, we missed the really crappy weather.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely am not complaining. I know there's a bunch of people who got hail around here, and then there was a couple there's tornado touchdown about an hour and a half from where we're at. So
yeah, we don't need any of them.
No, that can stay away. I would use the rain for sure because we're really dry here, but
yeah,
you know,
Well,
you can't always get what you want.
So where do we call here for those of us that don't remember?
Plainview, Nebraska. Northeast corner of Nebraska, small town, about 3 hours from Lincoln, about 2.5 hours from Yankton, 2.5 hours from Huset's, and that's
Okay.
where I call home.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna quick say the lady I work with out at school, they farm. And she always says the wise tell is plant in the dust and the bins are going to bust.
Yeah, we sure hope so. We've been struggling around here with some disease, just some different diseases that have kind of come in, and they say they're really hard to get rid of, which, I mean, if it all gets it doesn't really make much of a difference because your national average goes down, but I really hope the bin's bust full. I'll be pushing for it. Problem is it's only like worth $3 anyway, but
It's got to bust to make money.
yeah, it does have to bust and to keep tires on the sprint car.
Yeah, and we did plant in the dust. We did up here
we're
too until we got rain this past weekend, which was really nice. But prior to that, good Lord, you'd meet a truck on the gravel road and you just about had to stop. You couldn't see if the wind wasn't blowing.
Yeah, I know. I did some tillage here. I didn't work in the field as much as I'd want to, but I was kind of busy working on cars and busy with school and stuff. But I know I dissed one night, and I was driving on the road by a guy one night too. I mean, if you were battling the wind wrong, you couldn't see.
No.
Which is pretty hard to get excited about when you're going to have to run pivots. You know, we irrigate everything here. So, I mean, actually, at the moment, it's raining on top of all of our fields. But
well, that's a plus.
Not by nature.
Oh, that way. Okay. Okay. You tricked me on that one, damn it. You got me. I bet. But like too, I work for the county for the highway department, and the guys that run the road graders. You know, if you got that light breeze blowing the direction you're going, they really can't even tell what the hell they're doing. They can't see the mallboard to even tell what they're doing to the road. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine.
She's been dry. We'll take the rain. Anyways,
Yeah,
this is supposed to be a racing podcast.
But how old are you?
I'm 17 years old. I turned 17 in February. Actually, just last day of school is today, so technically, as of now, I'm a senior, which is hard to believe. But yeah,
hey, in another couple of years, you'll be old like me and Bud. It don't take long. It goes by really, really fast.
Oh yeah, it's already going by fast.
So
yeah,
what school do you go to, and do you do any sports or any music or anything like that?
So I go to Plainview Public Schools here in Plainview. We're the Plainview Pirates. I competed in sports up until the ripe age of eighth grade, and I decided then and there that I was not very athletic, and I better focus on something else. And so I've been competing in speech and drama for, since a freshman. This year I was able to medal at state, and I made it in state in 3 events for speaking contest with the help of a very, very good group of speech coaches. Actually, there's 2 of them, but absolutely amazing. And I'm also in choir. Once again, everything I've been in is very well coached around here. I'm very, very blessed. I race. I mean, I'm a full-time race car driver. But yeah, I'm FFA, speech, choir, National Honor Society, and certain things like that. I'm more the performing arts side of things, and I'm in theater too with the plays and stuff. But that's my cup of tea. I enjoy talking, and I enjoy making people laugh. So that's kind of what I do.
Well, that should make our night a lot easier for us then.
Maybe we should make him sing.
Yeah. What's we could get you to sing your favorite song or something.
We've never had anybody sing on our show before.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Small karaoke. Some Before He Cheats. There you go. That'll get me going.
So, how did you get started into racing? How old were you, and how did it come about?
I would have been. Let's see. I gotta be good with math here. I've been racing for 9 years. So I was 8 years old when I started racing, and the way we got started, Norfolk up here, which is off-road speedway, to anybody who knows the area around here. They're starting a go-kart track, and my dad raced go-karts back in the day. My dad shocks a lot of people. Actually, talking to most people around here, they're shocked to believe that I'm the one driving the race car, not Dad. But they're like, "Oh, you drive the car?" It's like, yeah, I do. Dad just works on it and tries not to kill me. But he's a driving coach. We'll go with that. And Dad wanted to start getting in. He's like, "Oh, you want to drive a go-kart?" And the funny part I always tell people is I'd just been at one of my buddy's house driving the little backyard carts, the like Harbor Freight specials. And I looked at Dad and I'm like, "We raced those?" Well, I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, but I kind of questioned it. And knowing now that was dumb. I should have said yes right away. But we went and watched a couple races, and next thing we knew, we started racing go-karts. And this track up at Norfolk had just kept having practice nights. And finally, we just decided, hey, we're going to go to Eagle Raceway and run on their infield track. And after that, I didn't know what any of the hand signals meant my first race, so they were telling me to speed up and get in line. I was supposed to start 8th, and I ended up just being so far behind the pack, they just turned us green, and I started 16th. Ended up driving up to 8th where I was supposed to start. I guess I just wanted to take a back row challenge from the start.
There you go. First night out.
Yeah, I just wanted to give myself all the challenges. And then, after that, we were pretty much hooked. Started racing in Eagle, Crete, Norfolk, and then at I-80 on their little track there before they shut everything down there. And ran 3 nights a week, and kind of, as they say, the snowball effect came into play.
Once you get addicted to it, it's a bugger to get out of it.
Oh yeah.
We only made it down to I-80 one time.
Yep.
Did they have a small track inside that track?
No, they had it. So if you were sitting on in the grandstands, the main grandstands area, if you looked over the back, that was where they had their little track at. They had it over. I don't know if you noticed or not, when you walk in, there was like a playground area for kids. It was over in that area on the side of things.
Okay.
So like where the ticket booth was for to get your wristbands and stuff, it was on the other side of where the racetrack was. It was a smaller track. It's where I got my first ever win in anything. So that was it. It means a lot to me. I really, really wish I could have raced something on the big track before it closed, but
Yeah.
you know.
That's the one we went to. We went to the very last race ever there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, I watched the World Outlaws there, and I watched the Silver Dollar Nationals there a few times. I mean, it was an amazing track, and hearing people talk about it, I'd love to race there, but hearing people talk about it, I'm like, yeah, that might have not been my cup of tea. They're telling me about the dip going down the backstretch where all the haulers would go by. You'd like jump going into the corner, and I'm like, yeah, that doesn't. No.
No, not as my first big track, maybe, huh?
Yeah, no kidding.
So, how long did you run go-karts then? How many years did you do that?
So I ran go-karts in 2018, 19, and 2020, and so 3 years. It's hard to really consider 2020 a full year because 2020 was, we all know, 2020.
Yep.
And a year that's synonymous all around the world. But we still were able to run quite a bit of stuff because with small amounts of people at the go-kart races, we didn't have to worry about grandstands or anything.
Sure.
So, I mean, I ran an junior one, amateur my first year, and then I moved up to junior one, and I ran that my second and third year, which basically that is just the size of the restrictor plate and your weight of the car.
Yep.
And I won every single race at Eagle in junior one, and I moved up to junior two to run at the track at Crete, and I ended up winning one of those, and I think I finished second the other two nights for their fall series. I ended up winning the points in that deal. And that was my last year in go-karts. They ended up canceling all of our indoor stuff that we had at the Lancaster Event Center because of COVID. And that's when we decided to make our jump up to micro sprints. So, yeah.
So then just keep going. Give us the rundown on the micros.
So we started in micros. We had a bunch of buddies when we were in go-karts. Kelby Volkman was one of them, and Chris Volkman. They moved up to micros, and you know, we'd always wanted to do something else. I didn't, you know, I knew we were going to be okay enough to make something out of it, whether it was good or bad, but I could at least hold the steering wheel correctly. And, you know, we kind of decided we wanted to do something different. I didn't really be 20 years old running an adult go-kart. And so we decided we were going to move up to micros, and we bought an old 05 Stallard. It was bright green, and I told Dad, I'm like, I'm going to prove you wrong. Green is not bad luck. And made it halfway through the year that year, and that car got bent. And I told Dad, you're right, I'll never have a green car again.
You made it halfway through the year, shit.
I made it halfway, but yeah, she got bent. We actually ran that car the rest of the year. It didn't really get bent too bad, just the down tube. And that turned into a bunch of arguing because Dad's like, the car ain't that bad. And I'm like, well, it's not that good. And well, we took it apart and stripped it, and she had a little teeter-totter to it. So yeah, we ended up running that car in restrictor for most of the year, then moved up to A-class for some of the stuff at the end. Ended up getting a couple restrictor wins at Lawton, Oklahoma, and Concordia, Kansas. We moved up to A-class and ended up getting a win at Stewart, Nebraska, a track about an hour and a half from us. Small paperclip, pretty small track. Ran there for a long time, and then we put together a newer car at the end of the year and started running some national stuff. Up in Creek County, we ran like 6 races in a row up there because of some cancellations. And by the end, we were finally making some features and running pretty well. And by the end of that night, and a couple nights up in Texas, we were sitting second in national, now 600 points.
Oh, shit.
And me and Dad kind of talked about it, and we're like, well, if we're going to chase this deal, I was a freshman in high school at the time, I think. It's either an 8th grade or I was a freshman. I don't quite remember. I think I was in 8th grade because I told Dad I'm going to get into high school and it'll be a little bit harder. So I said, well, if we're going to tour nationally, let's do it now. And we ended up running good. We never did pick off a win with that series, but we ran really well. We ended up finishing second overall points to Frank Flood, who is like synonymous
The legend
with,
in that class. Yep.
man, he is just, you can't beat. We beat him, and he didn't even run all the nights. Just every time we went to Port City in Oklahoma, he won, and I didn't make the feature just because I could not figure that track out for the life of me. We beat him a few nights, and you know he's vouched for me before at racetracks, so you know he's a great guy. I fully respect that man with every part of my being, and he was a lot of fun to run with. I mean, it gets hard running against them guys because they make you walk away with your tail between your legs more than you beat them. But
Yeah.
by halfway through the year, I told Dad, I'm like, we're not going to do that again for a while. Sometimes with the points deal, it kind of makes it work instead of just being fun. You go out there and enjoy it.
Yep.
So then the next year, we put together an outlaw micro and ran some outlaw shows. Won an outlaw race up at Doe Run, Missouri. Ran some more A-class stuff, more regional. We ran the Now 600 races that were close. And then the year after that was when we put together a sprint car, and we ran micro sprints and sprint cars. And that led into my first year racing sprint cars, which was a 360. The first car we bought was, we bought a used car, and me and Dad have always told each other we're never going to buy a used car, and then sure enough, we don't listen to our own advice. We bought a used car, and everything on it has either been cursed or broke. The rear end on it shattered at Jackson. The motor needed a lot of work. It broke a cam. It broke a bunch of other things throughout its life. Thing went to Australia here last year and broke a cam down there. We sold it and went to Australia, broke a cam down there. I'm like, I'm glad it's not in my hands anymore. And the front end was junk on it. The steering gear needed a bunch of work. I told Dad, I'm like, this sucks. The frame was bent. We ended up putting together a new car anyway.
That's a learning experience. Chalk that up as a learning experience.
No kidding. It was quite the learning experience, and a lot of hurt pocketbooks later. We finally had a car together, and went and ran some 360 stuff. First race out, we didn't run too bad. I think we ended up 15th or something like that. Just kind of still getting my footing, and towards the end of the year, we were running okay. Nothing real special, but I mean, we were competitive. One of them deals where we weren't, out in left field trying to make the thing go. We were, competitive with people who've been doing it forever, and trying to run the micro sprint and the sprint car back and forth really hurt me throughout my career. That year, I mean, the driving style and the way you sit in them and the way you turn the steering ratio is so much different. The feel in your seat. I was telling somebody, I set all my own cars up. So the shocks and everything I do on my own. So when I was trying to set a micro up and trying to set a sprint car up, I would get confused because what you felt in the seat hadn't been the same, and what I was feeling in the steering wheel didn't make any sense to me. And that really hurt me that year, I think. So we decided to sell off our micro stuff. We ended up putting together a 305, and this would have been for last year. And last year we ran a 305 and 360. I ran full-time with the Malvern Bank 360 Sprints, which is now the ASCS Midwest Malvern Bank Series. And we ended up picking off a couple seconds. We finished second at Deschler and second here at Albion. Should have won the race at Deschler, but Joey Danley is fast and passed me after a caution. But I just couldn't get back around him. And then we ended up third in points in that deal, and we ended up Rookie of the Year with that series. The 305 stuff, we didn't run too bad. We made one of the features for the prelims at the Nationals. Picked off 4 wins at Stewart Raceway up here, and it's either Stewart Speedway, I don't remember. It's Stewart Raceway or Speedway or something here in Nebraska. Not to be confused with the one in Iowa. But yeah, we ran there, picked off 4 wins or something like that up there, and then we ran good. Should have won one of the features at Eagle 2, was just really close and just could not quite get there. The thing about competing at Eagle, you're running against people that, when the Nationals come into town, are really fast. I mean, Trevor Grossenbach, Drucke, Stu Snyder. I mean, you're competing against some of the best that, even when they travel, are super fast. I mean, Stu went to Missouri and won the race up there. I mean, Gunnar Pike is another one. Billy Alley, I mean, that's a big name running there.
Oh, yeah, Billy's been running forever.
Yeah, Billy's been running forever, and Billy is still really fast.
Yep.
I mean, just the Brandon Horton, Gene Ackland. I mean, everybody there is so fast. Shaylee Bade's really good. I mean, you're running against top name 305 drivers every week, so it's hard to pick off wins at that track. But, and then this year we decided to get our feet wet, and I don't know if it's crazy or smart for the future. I'm just going to go with smart for the future because it makes me feel better. But we put together a 410. We sold our 360 stuff off. I have a motor that I might, the guy that would have me run a motor for him for some select shows. And then, so we might run some of the local stuff here for 360s, but now we just have a 305 and our 410. 410's been out twice this year. We went to Eagle with it. Never turned a single lap in a 410 sprint car, and we went to Eagle Raceway with high limit competition. That was we'll go with interesting.
Bold. I would say bold.
Yeah, bold move, Cotton.
Yeah, bold sounds better than stupid. But yeah, we didn't run too bad. I told somebody, I'm like, throughout hot laps and qualifying, I felt like I was surviving for my life. And then by the time we got to the B feature, I felt like we were running we were running some consistent laps, competing with some really good cars, running with Drucke and the Bowers 81 with Cole Vanderheyden. And we were running right behind Gossel and Austin Wood. I mean, we weren't by no means were close to transfer, but we definitely didn't. I mean, there was no expectation to transfer for our first. I mean, I had 0 laps in it. I had 3 laps by the time we got to qualifying, and I qualified last, but we were only about 3/10 off of Austin McCarl, which for having 0 laps, I was perfectly okay with. And actually, if you ask somebody else, I was pretty frustrated with that. But after the night finished, I decided.
After you thought about it a little bit.
Yeah. Dad told me, he's like, well, you got to be realistic. You got 0 laps in here. And I'm like, yeah, it still kind of sucks to have the car I hadn't qualified last. But passed the car in the heat race and just, we ran good laps. So we went to Huset's with it. And at Huset's, we made the feature out of the heat race, qualified 6th in our group, went 6-5 in the heat. To be 100% honest, I thought they took the top 4. So I was getting ready for the B feature, and come to find out I wasn't in it. So I got a text message from somebody. They're like, heck yeah, man, you're in the A. And I'm like, I am? I had to check.
Yeah, that much more time to clean the car or do something to the car before you race.
I had some time to breathe. But no, we made the feature. We ended up going 19th to 13th. I mean, it was a hectic A feature, to say the least. Just being able to miss some of the crashes and stuff really brought us through the field. And then, the whole front row, the whole top 4 crashed.
Yep.
So, I mean, when we went green there with 8 to go, they were right on my tail. And I ended up driving. So Austin McCarl was on the top, Ryan Timms went to the bottom, and that's when it started to take rubber. And I went to the middle, and I drove right between the two of them, and I'm kind of sitting there in the middle of the straightaway wondering, what in the heck am I doing? I could not believe I just passed those 2 calibers of cars, and Dad clearly couldn't either, because he said he was screaming so loud on top of the mule that he had a few people look at him, wonder what the heck he was doing. But no, I was pleasantly happy with it. Running with cars that are that good is, definitely not something I expected this early.
Count that as a win,
Yes, I definitely count it as a win. We loaded the car in the trailer, no damage. little bit of a crinkled nose wing because I got into a rear bumper, but beside that's perfectly fine. I fixed it at home because I'm frugal, I guess. But got that. I mean, that's all we had, and loaded the car up, and I take it as a success. You know, I watched videos of me when I first started running that 305 and first started running a 360, and it's like, what was I doing? But it's like, how did we think this was going to turn out?
Yeah.
But it's like, I don't know what we saw, but I don't know what Dad's seen, but apparently it was better than I'm seeing now. But, you know, there's definitely a lot of room for improvement, but the good thing was I felt like we unloaded and I was comfortable right away, and we were running with really, really good race cars, and it really showed me, it was a good confidence building run showing that we belong. I felt like, you know, we weren't one of them kids who got into it, and I wasn't one of them kids who got into it and didn't know how to drive the thing. So
Yeah.
that was nice.
Yeah.
I've said it a lot of times on the show. I always tell people, if you can roll the car in at the end of the night, roll it in the trailer, it ain't a bad night.
No.
Could be a lot worse.
No,
Yeah.
no, I've always told people I hate using that excuse, but at the same time, sometimes that's the best thing you can come up with for a night. So we load it in the trailer, we're good to go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
Always want to.
sometimes you gotta take that.
Got to throw it out periodically. We keep forgetting to do this, bud, but we got Dominic White on with us tonight. You were just going to do that,
I
weren't you?
was just going to say we have Dominic White on, and the main sponsor tonight is Fast Track Promotion, or Fast Track Performance and Products. So,
And I got to give a little shout out to Snow. He tuned in. He said hi. I don't know if you've ever listened to his show or not. Him and Shane Stewart, bench racing, they call it. Shane and Snow bench racing.
Lumber Lounge.
Lumber Lounge and Garage.
That's the Lumber Lounge.
Yep.
Yeah, I've listened to it before. You know, I'm a racer through and through. I mean, before I started racing, I knew nothing. I didn't even know names. I didn't know what racing was. And once I've gotten into it now, like when I was a kid, Monster Jam was my thing. I could tell you every single truck. I have a whole tote of them. I knew every driver. At 4 years old, I knew every driver, every car, every monster truck. And now my mom's like, it's crazy. Like, you can tell me any driver, any car, how they got there. I guess, you know, some people nerd out over fishing or something. I guess I nerd out over race cars. So
everybody's got their thing they like.
So,
yep.
Maybe we'll have to hook him up. Shane can give him some pointers if he goes back down to Port City because he can't figure that track out. So,
yeah.
What's the plans this year? I mean, the rest of the year.
I always tell people. I posted somewhat of a schedule for this year, but I tell people I'm a farmer and a race car driver, so Mother Nature wreaks havoc on my plans. But plan is this year to run all of Huset's points races. No, I won't run I'm not going to run their World Outlaws stuff yet.
Yep.
I don't really, with all the stuff we have calculated, I don't have enough nights. I'm going to have 18 nights on the motor, and we only have one motor, so it'll be kind of lax on the 410 stuff, but I feel like we can run their points there and compete for their IBEW Rookie of the Year deal. And then we'll run Jackson whenever we can, probably as much as possible with the 410, and then their 305 stuff they run specific.
Yep.
We'll run the other Eagle race with the 410. There's a race here at Norfolk with our 410 that we'll run. That's it for the 410. Our 305 stuff, me and Dad kind of just talked. It'll be run wherever. We might run on some Saturdays at Eagle, but if we have a race at Huset's, it might be kind of fishy on what we do.
Sure.
You know, we'll run some at Stewart. I know that. There's a Speed Week here, Stan Caesar Speed Week Memorial here around us, Columbus, Beatrice, Albion, Eagle that we run 4 days in a row. We'll run that. We'll run the 305 Nationals for sure. There's certain races like that I'm for sure going to, but some of the other, weekly stuff for me will just be whatever, you know, kind of floats my boat, I guess. And then we have a couple 360 races planned here, just local, and I'm going to try to run the 360 race at Eagle at the end of the year, that Stewart Alley Memorial. So
yep.
We'll just see how things go. I kind of just try to keep people updated on where we're going to be weekly and kind of go from there. That's kind of how, pretty lax, I guess. I wouldn't really call it an outlaw schedule.
Yeah.
But kind of just running wherever and
whatever fits in your time frame.
Yep,
so
run as much as we can, but can't make Grandpa do all the work on pivots every week, so we better be home and do some of it.
So you talk about keeping people updated. How would they keep track of what you got going on?
We have a Facebook page. White Racing is our Facebook page. I keep people updated the best I can on there. Sometimes I fall behind on it, getting busy working on cars. I mean, like I said, I don't have a car chief or nothing, so I do all the work on my own stuff. And Dad's farming or helping me when he can, but for the most part, I do maintenance and everything. So when I get time, I usually update everything on Facebook. I have a couple schedule things that I've made that I have pinned at the top of my page that people can look at. But I usually keep people updated, like, hey, we're going here, we're going here. So yeah, that's what I do. I took all that over here this last year, which has kind of been, when I take something over, I took over taking notes on cars a couple years ago, and that was a disaster because I kind of forgot some nights to take notes. I've gotten that figured out now, but so yeah, the Facebook stuff, if I remember, it'll be posted up on there, and that's the main place people can keep up with me. So yeah, that's what I got.
And who are all your sponsors?
So our sponsors for the year, we have Jaguar Manufacturing. They build micro sprint frames, sell micro sprint parts. They also sell me. Jake Galush is the guy who runs the deal. Jake and his wife Michaela are some of the nicest people I've met. I love them to death. They are amazing people. They've helped me so much throughout my career. Jake is just a guy I can call whenever I need him, whether it's talking about race cars or life. He sells Smith titanium parts, DMI, you name it, anything you need for a race car. Dealer through Speedway and distribution places. Then I got Rook Construction Incorporated, a construction company from up in Washington area. Jim White. Believe it or not, his last name is White, and he is not related to us, which is weird. But yeah, super good friend of ours. We have Maori Land and Cattle, a really good friend of ours, a guy who's always at the racetrack. Super nice guy, big friend of my dad's. They've been friends forever. Really good sponsor. Engler Machine and Tool, Tim and Tally and Tammy Engler from up in Indiana. Fuel injection stuff. They're probably our best paying sponsor who doesn't pay us anything. They are like family. We go up there on dyno every year, and we end up bunking in their house for most of the time we were down there because there's tornado warnings. But super nice family. You don't get any nicer than them. JB Lawn Care is another one. They've been sponsors since the beginning. Super nice family. Actually, that came about because my mom works with Joe's the guy who runs the deal, and his wife works with my mom. So they've been sponsors for a very, very long time, and super great family. They've been big supporters. Main Street Auto from up at Bassett, Nebraska, Stewart area. Tucker Iverson, super nice guy, been helping us and supporting us for a long time. New sponsor this year is Binger Trucking, really good family friend. They got a trucking company here in town, or out in the farm. They've been super good supporters of us here recently, and he's always followed, always asking how things are going. And then a couple other unpaying sponsors that I have that are really great people. I have Speedway Shocks on my 305. Marcus Kennedy builds them, super nice guy. The Momentum Shocks with Brad Bennick builds our 410 shocks. Super nice guy once again. I can call him whenever I need. Let me think. I don't think I'm missing any. Like White Farms, Grandpa, he's been a supporter of me since the beginning.
Don't forget Grandpa, damn it.
Helps check pivots when we're gone. DNA White, that's Dad. yeah, that's the rundown of sponsors, and like I say all the time, I'm always looking for more to get up and down the road.
Oh yeah.
I could never have too many sponsors, so
Nope, nobody can.
yeah, no, never.
Oh.
Well, before we get to our rapid fire, I have one quick question. Why do you have the number on your car that you have?
So the 11 came about. I've never really had a favorite number. Favorite color now is blue. It was always green before.
Well, it wasn't
That's
white.
why my cars were blue.
Okay.
No, not quite. It's shocking to most popular interest. Yeah. No, my dad, when he raced go-karts, my uncle he's passed away here a couple of years ago, or a year and a half ago or something like that. He used to race modifieds, and he was L5, which I really didn't know this that much before I started, but when Dad raced go-karts with his brother, Dad was 29, and being a mathematologist, I guess, I took 2 + 9 and somehow got to the number 11, and that's where that came from.
Oh.
And Dad's like, well, 11 is like one of the more popular numbers, which after running a heat race at Huset's with 3 number 11s, with Rodney Huband and Brendan Mullen and me, I now know why he said that. So when we started, we put, in go-karts, we were 11 DW. That was the number. The car was actually orange. And so that was our number. And after you move up far enough, they kind of frown on the double digit or double
letters.
So, and then we cut off the W. The W got the X, and now it's 11D. So,
Okay.
Yeah, that's
now,
awesome.
Now that's what I'm on.
Well, that works.
I was thinking 11 Darrell Waltrip.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding you.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, knowing what I know now, maybe, but
Too late now. You already told us the true story, so you can't change it now.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
We'll get to some rapid fire questions here. We'll see how this goes. So what's your favorite kind of ice cream?
Favorite kind of ice cream? Vanilla. I'm pretty boring.
Cat or a dog person?
I'm a dog person. We have 3 dogs, 1 cat, and that is my sister's. I do not claim it.
Do you have any?
Pretty sure it's
Go ahead.
secretly plotting my death. I think it's secretly plotting to kill our entire family. But
Well, they always say that about cats.
You just never know. Outside of racing and farming, do you have any other hobbies?
I don't mind fishing. I don't go fishing as much as I, wish I did. We're going on a fishing trip here sometime throughout the summer, but that's probably my hobby.
Yep.
Is fishing.
That's a good one to have. How about a favorite movie?
Favorite movie? That one is tough. I'm kind of a choir guy, so sometimes musicals aren't bad. The Greatest Showman, I do like that movie.
Yep.
But you got to throw out Talladega Nights there. I mean, you can't go away from that.
Yep.
One movie that I do really like is The Art of Racing in the Rain. I don't know if you guys have watched that or not, but it is a really good movie. The problem is there's a dog in it, and sadly enough, you can probably imagine what happens to the dog, and at the end of every movie, and that is,
Yep.
anytime a dog passes away in a movie, I will cry. It's gonna happen. I mean, there's gonna be tears.
Old Yeller's a
But
bad
yeah,
movie.
Yep.
Oh yeah. Those are my kind of movies. There, I like racing movies, but there's not very many of them around.
Yeah.
So about any racing movie you can think of, I've watched.
Yep. Do you prefer snow or rain?
Definitely rain. I'm a farmer, so without a doubt, rain. And snow, I don't like the cold. But I also don't like intense heat. I'm kind of a spring and fall kind of guy.
Yeah.
You're
you're right there with me. I can do like 20 degrees, but when it gets like below 0, that sucks, and it gets above 85, I'm crabby too.
Yep, and then the humidity is terrible.
Yep.
We went up to Washington, and they were like, "Hey, it's a dry heat here." I'm like, it still sucks.
Yeah.
It's still hot.
Yeah, I mean, you can only take off so many layers before it gets to be illegal. So,
Yep. Or you're getting arrested.
At least in the winter, I can just bundle up and stay inside. But
I like this.
I'm a rain guy.
I've said the same thing forever. I can put long underwear and bib overalls on and survive the winter, but I can strip to my underwear and go work in the ditch, and all I do is get arrested. So, if you were going to be stranded on an island, what type of music or album would you have to have along to listen to?
Oh boy, that's tough. I am like the broadest when it comes to music. I'm on polar opposite ends of the spectrum throughout my playlist. You'll be crying one time, then you'll be headbanging.
Well, nothing wrong with
I don't know.
that.
You gotta go with some classic country, some old Alan Jackson.
Perfect.
I mean, you gotta go with that type of some Toby Keith.
Oh yeah.
Some Garth Brooks. I mean, you gotta get all the gold in there.
Yep. Toby Keith was one we
Chris
lost too soon.
Yes, yeah, some Chris Ledoux in there, some of the old Highwaymen. There's only one left.
This is a nice kid, bud. We're gonna have to have him on again.
Yep. I'd love to. If you can't figure out, I kind of rambled for about 30 minutes, so I'm pretty good at that.
Hey, that's perfect. Nobody comes on this show to listen to me and Bud.
No, absolutely.
Unless they're gonna
not.
laugh at something dumb we say. So.
What's your favorite place to go out to eat?
Favorite place to go out and eat? Oh, well, I just ate at Mary's here in town. That's pretty nice. Talking fast food, if I have to go eat fast food, probably Arby's. Favorite place to eat? Oh, in general, I don't know. Olive Garden's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
I usually have great ideas that I'm going to eat more than 12, or not 12, more than 2 breadsticks, but after about 2, that's enough. And some pasta, you can't go wrong with some chicken Alfredo. So there you go.
I actually just ate that last night. Night
Oh,
before.
there you go.
Night before.
There you go.
How about a favorite holiday?
Favorite holiday? Oh, well, I mean, National 410 Day, May 10th. I mean, or May. April 10th. Oh, man.
Yep.
Oh, I got to figure that out.
Yeah, don't
April
screw
10th,
that up.
You got the 410 Day, but probably Christmas. I mean, I've always enjoyed that, but being with family and Christmas or Thanksgiving, but I always end up eating too much and putting myself in a coma on Thanksgiving. So
410, I got to remember. I've only ever forgot that 410 Day once so far.
I almost forgot it. I almost thought it was in May. That's not 410.
410's my anniversary, and I forgot that one year. And I was reminded that I forgot. Sorry, honey.
You can't do that. No, that's a no-no.
I forgot our anniversary a couple times and her birthday a few times, so I'm just old and dumb.
They should just get used to it pretty soon, right?
How many speeding tickets do you have?
I have none. I have no speeding tickets. I'm pretty calm of a driver. I got race cars to drive fast, and then I drive tractors. So, I mean, it's pretty much polar opposite end of the spectrum.
25 mile an hour down wide open if you're going down the gravel with your tractor, maybe.
Yeah, whilst going downhill,
Yeah.
But no, I stick to the speed limit.
Okay. Well, then this next question might be boring for us, but what's the fastest you've ever driven down the highway or, say, ridden with somebody? Now, you're in Nebraska. There's some pretty wide open areas down there.
There are some pretty wide open roads. Dad's always liked cool stuff, so we have a Jeep here at home. And
you broke up just a second there.
Oh, my pickup shut off. Sorry.
Oh.
It's been sitting here for a while. No, Dad's always got some cool stuff. So we have a Jeep Trackhawk and a T-Rex, the Dodge Ram T-Rex. He gets those going. He gets those going pretty fast. I stick to the speed limit, but yeah, he's got to take his time out. He don't get to drive the race cars, so he's got to have fun every once in a while. I think it was probably 90. Oh, we might have I don't know if we broke triple digits, but we might have. I don't know. For the sake of being on live, I'm going to say we only went 90.
There you go.
So
not even close. We've had 3 guys over 200.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm not beating that. I can tell you that.
One was on a motorcycle.
Yeah, one was on a motorcycle.
Maybe 2. Yeah. I don't even know. But
I'm a 4-wheel guy. I'm not much of a 2-wheeler.
Yeah. What's your favorite beverage?
I mean, chocolate milk's really good, but after 7:30, if I have chocolate milk, I don't like myself in the morning. Um, probably, a good old water at the racetrack hits the spot, but a Sprite or a Starry here and there. I have been killing up on the old Shirley Temple 7 Up or whatever it is that they sell now. I drink that. That's pretty good. That's
Yep.
my cup of tea right there. But I am kind of a sucker for a nice coffee every once in a while. I will admit to that. So,
Okay.
I mean, I'm kind of all over the board.
Well, so we don't keep you all night. We got one question left for you.
Alrighty.
If you could own any car in the world, you just won the lottery, let's say, and you could buy a car or pick a tractor, anything you ever wanted that you just ain't had the money for?
The International Scout pickups have always kind of caught my eye. I always
Old
thought they were
school.
really cool. But
Get
the
one of
other
them. You could spend
vehicle
some
that
money
I've
getting one of them
always,
restored.
yeah, no, they're outrageous. The other one that I've always, if I had unlimited funds, a Ford GT40, the older ones, one of the
Okay.
classic ones,
Yep.
those have always kind of sparked my eye. I've always thought they were really cool. So that's kind of my dream vehicle, I guess you could say. So I don't dream too much with vehicles. I guess I got a rocket, I call it, with wings and a driveline between my legs. So I get to drive those. So I guess if I had unlimited money, I'd probably own a sprint car team. I probably wouldn't own a cool car.
Nothing wrong with that either. So
There you go.
and they're all going to take money, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's gonna take all of it and not give it back.
Well, thanks a ton for coming on the show, Dominic, and I'm sure we're going
Yes.
to visit with you a few times up at Houston. We'll stop by and say hi.
Alrighty. Yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there ready to talk again. I've always got more words to say.
All right, sounds good. Best of luck for the rest of the year, buddy.
Alrighty, thank you. You guys have a good one.
You
You
too.
bet. We'll see
Bye-bye.
ya.
Alrighty, see you later.
He mentioned the Now 600, but I do believe that is one of them that the S2F sponsor shows.
Well,
That's one of them they